Okay, so I think we're live. Okay, so the task for today is there's a kind of a sample app I've been building multiple times, and the idea is it's a CRM for a small yoga studio or martial arts dojo or whatever, where you've got instructors, you've got students, you've got payments, you've got taking attendance, signing up for classes, just kind of not a little bit more complex than a to-do app, but uh, not hugely complex. And so I'm going to make a, I'm calling it Dojo 5. I'm going to make a new repository, um, and I'll do it in public so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Um, okay, public create repository. Okay, and then I've got a CloudMD, AgentsMD docs folder. I'm going to ignore. I actually prefer not to commit my agents MD and CloudMD. Um, so I'm going to do. Um, but I'll show you what it is. So this is AgentsMD, and CloudMD is just a pointer to AgentsMD. So, Cloud Code will use that. So I'm using this BS system. BS is Beads server. It's sort of like the original Steve Yege Beads, except it's got a client server model. So um, the idea is in the future I can launch multiple agents in parallel, and they can work using work trees or independent instances without the way the beads kind of collaborates between claims task and whatever. Uh, just is kind of insane to me. So this is just kind of a standard client server model. Um, anyway, so that's what the BS is. Test-driven development. This is just a basic. Hey, let's use test-driven development, and AI is going to do whatever it does with that. I think it's super important to have tests. This could probably stand to have some refinement, um, but without tests along the way, it'll just kind of keep going, and bugs pile on top of bugs and pile on top of bugs. Docs folder is for documentation purpose. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to so in Docs. Well, I'll just commit it so you guys can see it. So I've got git ignore agents cloud. Okay. Whoops. So not a Git repository. Oh, okay. So now it's a Git repository. Git ignore docs. So now prd.md is in there. Now I'm going to. Okay, so here's my starting point. And I'm going to do this. Push. Okay, so now docs is in here. PRD. Okay. Now what I'm going to do first, I'm using this system I built called Raymond, which that's not the topic of this video, but I think it's going to be kind of coming up frequently. Raymond is sort of like um, the inspiration is sort of like Ralph, where it just runs in a loop forever, except what I wanted was something that was more refined, where I had actually state transitions between, I can chain multiple uh, prompts together instead of having the fixed prompt run over and over again. Chain multiple prompts together and have context retained sometimes between states. So there's a whole thing. So I have a link to it, or if you go to my GitHub, you'll be able to find it. And so that's a orchestrator system that I'm using, and I have a few workflows. I'll just bring this up. I have a few workflows that are, oops, uh, where is it? Workflows. I just committed today, last pushed workflow samples. So one of them is human PRD uh, looping. So it'll, um, anyway, so let me run this and I can do, okay. the array, workflow samples, human PRD one start. Oh, before I do that, I'm going to do array. I have so normally I run dangerously skip permissions, and I'm running in a Docker container, so that's safe. But there are some defaults so by default, Raymond doesn't do dangerously skip permissions just for safety, but you can configure it with array init config. Okay, so it'll create a config file with the defaults, and then um, Raymond config. Okay, and then I'm going to set the budget to 1,000. Oops. And then um, okay. Because I have, Cloud Code will cap me when my subscription um, reaches its limit. If you're doing like pay, if you're paying for tokens retail, you don't want it to run out of control. So that's why there's a budget limit there. Okay, so now I have dangerously skip permissions turned on. And I'll do array sample workflow samples human PRD one start. Okay, so I think it'll find PRD in the. Okay, we'll just try this. Okay, so starting a workflow, it found PRD, it reads it. So the idea is that it will check for areas that are inconsistent or incomplete, and it will ask questions about that. If they're improved comprehensive, so this PRD I stole from Dojo 4, so I'm just reusing that. Makes sense, scope. Okay. Write to human prompt, and then it'll wait for me. So I need a better way to, whoops, what am I? Agent in Docker, work, Dojo 5, human prompt. Okay, so now assumptions, go router, that's good. TBT library, sounds good. SQLite driver, okay. Database migrations, run first detection, scheduling class model. The class is a template type. Sessions is specific. Okay, CORS sounds okay. Front end styling, lightweight CLS, CSS, make file targets. Everything ready to proceed. Okay, so if I okay, so I think it's good. So if you clear the file and then do that, then it'll terminate out. Okay, so now I want to have the creation of the tasks from the PRD is something that I don't have automated. Maybe it shouldn't be automated, but so anyway, I'm going to use Cloud Code to do that. Okay, so I have a product requirements document at docs.md. I want to, so how the way to go from PRD to plan to tasks is something I haven't fully got figured out. So this part of the experiment here is to see what the best way to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the PRD, generate an implementation plan, and then refine the implementation plan, have it check for inconsistencies, see if there's a better way, do that again and again a few times, and then generate beads from that. So I want to generate a high-level implementation plan, call it implementation plan.md. Don't make any mistakes. Okay. Okay. Don't ask for. I told it to avoid git-c. Project in Greenfield. Okay, let me create the implementation plan. Is this the agents I have for Dojo 5? Yeah. Okay. So I need a README here. Create the implementation plans. Okay, so I'll go back to all edits. Okay. Monorepo structure, build tooling, CI. Okay. Database data layer. Okay. Okay. Where's my product template? Okay, over here. Okay. So this is my standard copy paste. Set up monorepo structure, build tooling, CI. SQLite, authentication, authorization. Mention CI in the description, but no CI up is describing period. It doesn't call for any. Yeah, fix this. I think it's. I mean, it's kind of crazy um, how much this benefit, how much benefit that provides. Having a look again, it has like critical mistakes. It's like, hey, I found all 4 fixes applied. Fix the others to calendar view. No mention of router choice. Attendance table has no updated at. All backend before all front end is valid, but it means nothing's visibly demonstrable. Vertical slices. Okay. So I've seen mention of that vertical versus horizontal, like these so-called tracer bullets. I don't fully. I need to read up more on that to understand what that's about. I guess that's helpful. Okay. Yeah, paste again. All right. Good job. Now fix it. Now check again. You know what I didn't check was the Anyway. Okay, functional gaps. No password reset, no user deletion strategies undefined. Soft delete seems like a good idea. There's no permission annotation. Other attendants endpoint are all annotated. So these changes are all in the implementation plan, and the PRD is as yet unmodified. So some of this should flow back into the PRD. Does it say anywhere how many viewers I have? 2 concurrent viewers. Okay. All right. Added. All right. So I'm going to some of these updates wrong in the PRD. Update the PRD to reflect these disclosures. Okay. Okay. Updated PRD. Let's see what we got. Self delete duration. Okay, so not that big deal. Okay. Work. Okay. Okay. Thorough, worth fixing. Soft delete has implications for auth and listing that aren't called out. I'd like to see how much I'd like to see how much context I have left. But I, every time I've tried setting up the context, trying to set up the setup line, it's been a mess. But then again, that was on Windows, so maybe it's better on Linux. Okay. Oh, I guess I could do it in another Windows instance. Both documents are clean. One minor ambiguity. Okay, that's there. Okay. Okay. What are we doing now? Explicitly parameters from date. Okay, both are sections. All right, I'm going to call that good enough. So I'm going to say commit. I told it, please don't mention Cloud Code. It's not that it's a secret. I don't want to misrepresent it as mine, but it's kind of like advertising itself, which not really, don't really like. Implementation, create love and play. Okay, sure. Okay. Now I want to. Okay. I guess thinking a while. Status line, relative path. Workflow samples. JQ isn't installed. Okay. I need to, okay, yeah, there we go. Cool. Beads list.md. PHP indicate estimate the length of. Okay, so I'm going to have to rebuild. I'm going to check my Docker setup, see if there are any ports that are visible to the host. But I'm going to do that. I'm not going to do that right now. Well, I'll check to see where my so my Docker env. Okay, yeah. So there are no ports being exposed right now. But I think I can rebuild the container, and that'd be okay. Okay, so this guy's good. What was in the? Try to shift tab. Yeah. What else was in the? I think that's good enough. Now I don't know. So the reason I'm asking for the duration is I want to I want each bead to be able to be completed in a single context. So in other words, without compaction. So I'm estimate to, oh, here we go. 1.5 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours. So these are pretty decent. Well, and when it says hours, that's actually like, 10 times longer than it actually takes. Total for all these phases, 85 hours. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and commit and well, first let me do the revision or the check for mistakes. Where's my prompt? Okay. These beads were for these beads were for bead server. So let me do a clear on um, mm, Okay, so these are, oh, closed. They're closed, not deleted. Okay. There's a cleanup. Clean. Okay. Oh, I closed it. Okay, so there are no beads. He's still thinking. Okay. The okay, how do I install it? Let me. Okay, I want to go. Copy this Docker file over here. It's probably just apt-get JQ or something, but might as well have it do it for me. Okay, all three fixes applied to the beads list. Oops, nope. Mm. Let me get it. No, 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 no. Why can't I? You know what? I got it in source control. I'll just blow it away and then I'll check. Okay, just have JQ. Okay. Okay, just add it. JQ. Okay. Okay. Okay, where are we at over here? Still checking. 305. Oh, have I not pushed? Okay. Missing dependency. Dependencies are incomplete. Numbering gap. Dependency limits number 9. Okay, fix. especially when you're in the planning phase, there's no excuse to not, you know, churn over it many times and fix everything that you can find, because every mistake you have here is going to lead to that much more work down the line. Four fixes applied. Okay, now check again. So I think what I'm going to do is once I map out all the individual beads tasks, I'm going to commit, and then I'm going to run, and it'll, it'll generate the beads and then run, and then it'll get an output. Then later on, I can go back to that point, generate beads again, and try to run concurrent, because that's the where I'd like to get to is the point where independent beads can run in parallel and then have a merge, um, you know, merge nicely. So that'll be kind of interesting to see. I think it I think it should go well. I'm sure it's possible. How hard it is to get there, I don't know if it's going to be relatively straightforward. Each agent just does a rebase and then push, um, or whether it's going to be something more complicated than that. I think it should be okay. I think it should be okay. There's a lot of waiting around, which I. Hmm. Cosmetic, redundant wording, dependency graph getting hard to read. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna fix those. Let's the estimated efforts is a bullshit number, so I'm gonna take that out. Okay. Okay. Um, 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 3 hours. None of these are, I think a couple hours worth of estimated effort is about right for one. This guy's 5 hours. Remember detail, edit, remember pages. Well, I don't know. Well, I guess that's a good test. Okay. Branches. Okay. Um, I don't have to. Hmm. And then for previous commit to include more. that's the kind of thing where I'm not enough of a Git expert to know how to do that. Okay, now we're cleaning. Push. All right. So now we have beads lists. Okay, so now I can come back to here and try single thread, parallel, whatever. So I'll do, now I'll do make beads using BS. And do dependent to of course. Okay. Capture the IDs. Is it going if it updates the document um, to map the IDs, then that's not good. Since they are um, 37 beads. Okay, 37 beads. It didn't say, did it say 37? 37 beads, here we go. Okay, so there are only two that are unblocked by anything else. So that's a good indicator anyway, I guess. Mm, okay. Have we verified Go and Node are installed in suitable versions? Keep matching strategy. Gonna work on main. Mm, no, I think we're okay. Okay, so I'm gonna drop out of here and I'm going to start the Raymond BS work start uses. So okay, BS list ready. BS claim. Okay, so I think I can do this. Ray, workflow samples, BS work, one start. I've already committed. The beads are not committed, but they're generated from the beads list. And I think this will go. Now we'll see how. I have a little window over here showing my Claude usage. So resets in 2 hours. I don't know if that's going to be, it'll be a race to see, do I burn all my tokens or, this is a $100 a month subscription, by the way, the Pro, or not the Pro, the Max $100 version. So 2 available tasks. So see, okay, so this guy's in progress. Um, so yeah, this will be running for hours. I think while this is going, I'm going to think about how would I run multiple multiple instances. Work trees are possible. Um, I'll just start a conversation with. Um, um, okay, I'm going to say read all the workflows. Read all the workflows. Also read the Raymond documentation. Raymond docs, I think it is. Raymond wiki. I want to do something similar to the VS, no, the VS work. That's what it's called, right? Workflow, but I want to be able to run run in parallel. There's multiple, meaning each will have to embedded agents. But before we get there, here's the documentation, and then we'll discuss what I'm looking for. Okay, how are we doing over here? Okay. Oh, already committed once. All right, so we got open, nope, closed. Okay, initialize, claim. Okay, password hashing utilities. So now on Dojo 5, backend, docs. Let's see what we did. Set up a Go module, create server. Okay, so far so good, I guess. Okay. So I think it should be okay. Well, I guess there's a question. Am I going to run multiple instances of Raymond, or am I going to run one instance of Raymond with multiple workers that all go to their own folders? I think I'm going to run multiple instances of Raymond. Yeah, because they need to be in separate shells with separate environment variables so that they can have identities. And well, no, they don't. Well, so I'll start with multiple instances of Raymond. Then if that works, I'll go with multiple, a single instance with multiple workers. Okay, ready to discuss dispatch worker done. Claims on task. Yeah. It already has a test workflow sample dispatch. Yeah, multiple. Okay, so use multiple instances of Raymond to do the parallel work, and then in the future I can look at a single instance with multiple workers. BS requires BS user to tag the beats and retain clarity over who is working on what